Last time you told me back in November in our interview before that you will focus on sending in information to North Korea. So do you have some specific activities in mind?
Well, if anybody in North Korea is listening to this interview, then that means we've succeeded in at least getting this information to some people in North Korea. I hope we will continue to fund broadcasting of radio and television to the people of North Korea. I hope we will continue to fund information that comes on thumb drives and CD cards, on media that can be played on DVD players, on cell phones that are used by the North Korean people, and that funding for this will expand in the coming years. The funding is provided by the U.S. Congress, and it goes to the State Department, to our National Endowment for Democracy, and then to private organizations that have been distributing the information in many different ways to the North Korean people. It's not the U.S. government that is sending things into North Korea, but we are helping private organizations that conduct that kind of trade across the border. And what we do need to be careful not to put anybody in danger, and so what that means is that that everybody involved knows exactly what they are doing and what risks they are taking. They choose to take these risks. If a North Korean citizen chooses to watch a movie or a television show or to read a book or an encyclopedia that comes from outside North Korea, I think they know exactly what risks they are taking. One of the things that we are supporting is information about how to stay safe, about how to keep your privacy as best as possible when you're using these media, how to make sure that the government cannot track what you are doing, or at least to make it harder. In the end, the North Korean people have to make these choices for themselves. We would never encourage someone to take risks that they don't want to take. But if they do want to take the risk, we want to make sure that the information is there for them to consume. I'm not a big fan of loudspeakers. Very few people in North Korea can hear loudspeakers from the border. Many people in North Korea watch movies and television shows and listen to radio and television broadcasts and can read books digitally, watch documentaries. Those are the things that we should be emphasizing. And those are the things we have been emphasizing. Very important. We should not be sending propaganda to the people of North Korea. They get enough propaganda from their own government. We should be sending them honest, truthful, factual information that shows life in America and in South Korea in a realistic way. There are problems in America, there are problems and injustices in South Korea, and we should be honest about those. We should show people the reality and allow them to make up their own minds rather than telling them what they have to think.
So now that the Democrats have controlled the House, many people are expecting more oversight over the Trump administration's North Korea policies. Could you tell us more about that?
Well, certainly. We've seen President Trump go from extreme to extreme. First, he wanted to threaten fire and fury against North Korea, and then suddenly he was falling in love with Kim Jong-un and saying that the nuclear problem has been solved. Both of those positions are dangerous, I think, and ridiculous. We should not be threatening war against North Korea. That's not the solution. But we've also not solved the nuclear problem or the missile problem. The North Korean government, I think, deceived President Trump. He allowed himself to be deceived in a way that I think is quite embarrassing. What we should be doing is continuing to support the South Korean government, continuing to reassure the South Korean people that the United States will help to protect South Korea, to keep sanctions in place for now, as long as the North Korean government continues its nuclear program, and to redouble our efforts, increase our efforts to get information to the people of North Korea so that they can take control of their own future.
Congressman Malinoski, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.